Camper Trails and the Big Five Wildlife and Personality. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast of The Ordinary Maverick. This is Ajay, your host, an ordinary maverick sharing real life thoughts and experiences and maverick tips. If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, please do so, and you will not miss another episode. There's a first time for everything, and that first time experience, good or bad, always remains in one's memory bank forever, right? Well, I remember the first time we rented a camper and went camping. Come to think of it, we were pretty brave. We had zero experience in camping, zero experience in driving a camper, but being true mavericks, we just jumped right into it. I remember vividly that bright sunny morning when we drove from Pretoria to Johannesburg to pick up the camper van. With excitement, we got the tour of the camper van, understood all the features, got the keys, and drove off. It was a six-bedded camper with a fully equipped kitchenette and a bathroom on board. For the next few days, like a little child opening a present, we discovered the joys of a camper. Here is a tip. Every once in a while, do something that you have never done before. Keep the child inside you alive. The joy in discovery is like no other. I mentioned a bucket list in one of my podcasts. Well, keep a bucket list for new experiences and not just for travel like I shared earlier. And if you haven't done a camping trip and rented a camper van before, add that to your list. You won't regret it. The minimalistic experience, coupled with setting up camp alongside many others, building a fire, getting to know the camper community, using the community restrooms, and exchanging small talk is a learning all by itself. One discovers and realizes how helpful and kind people are. We had everyone helping us, giving us tips, connecting our camper to the gas and water at the campsite, sharing how to get the fire started, and of course, coming over to experience the melt in your mouth delights that came out of the fire. Yes, the smells emanating from our camper site of the marinated chicken and the marinated veggies brought us traffic. Okay, everyone stopped by to comment on the smells, and we generously offered them a taste. And the next thing you know, additional chairs are being pulled up and we have got ourselves some new friends. We discovered the joys of roasting marshmallows over the fire. In fact, our girls loved this part and joined other kids in this after the dinner ritual, while adults enjoyed liqueurs and continued with beers or then brought out hot chocolate. There's something just so calming about being around a campfire in the night, with the stars above you, darkness all around except for the campfires, and the gentle breeze and low hum of small talk. Camping is invigorating, and we are ever grateful for our time in South Africa to have experienced and fallen in love with this outdoor activity. I've come to see camping as something everyone should do at least once in their lifetime. Nothing like fresh air and being close to nature to make one immediately de stress. Camping also helps in our relationships in understanding each other. One can't be in a campsite day in and day out without the frivolities and not get to know one another. If you're friends at a camping site, rest be assured you will be friends forever. We can vouch for that as we have some amazing friendships formed over campfires that still burn strong today. Also, camping makes one realize that there's very little you actually need to be happy. Living out of a tent with the basics brings home that fact real soon. For parents who are listening to the podcast, let me share something. We sent our girls on their first camping trip when they were just 10 and 11 years old. It was in Rishikesh Valley of the Himalayas in India. Both went off with this group that specialized in organizing camps for children, and for 2 weeks we didn't have any contact. Well, that was one of the conditions, as the whole idea was for the children to be able to experience camping without distractions and phone calls, etc. and experience the mountains, camp out, cook outdoors, do team activities, etc. etc. Our girls returned with a lifetime of memories, new friends, the wonders of the joys of discovery, and the sense of accomplishment returning from a successful camping trip. And there are all kinds of camping. We have also camped with just tents, no camper van, which is actually quite fancy in comparison. We have done camping in campsites that had the basic sleeping facility, like beds in shared spaces, and then we have camped by the riverside when we rafted down the Orange River in Namibia. Now, that was an experience to recount, and I've shared more on that in the episode on disconnecting to reconnect. And then, of course, there's the camping safari. Having lived for over a decade in the African continent, one experiences all kinds of camping. Wonder if you have heard of glamping? That's glamour camping. Yes, you're still camping, but in style. You have these luxury tents with all the amenities, great meals, drinks, and the entire experience is designed to be luxurious. It's good to do that too. One must treat ourselves. Often we are so caught up in the task, in the next milestone, in the accomplishments that one forgets to live. Our time in Africa definitely brought home this aspect. You know, when you go on a safari, you learn to go with the flow. One has no idea what's in store and what one will see. That's where the joy of discovery comes in. You set off for the day in anticipation. You might have heard about the Big Five. Well, we soon learnt about this in South Africa. The Big Five are the lion, leopard, wild buffalo, rhino, and the African elephant. When one gets to the Kruger, everyone is keen to see the Big Five. And if you see all of the Big Five, then that's considered a successful trip. As first timers to Kruger, we struck gold and did see the Big Five on our first trip there. And you know what? That's a moment we savor as a family and relive those memories of the majestic pride of lions we all saw together and the leopard on top of the rock, sunning itself, oblivious to the awe inspiring attention it was getting. But there's another Big Five in personality. These five personality traits tell a lot about a person and are used in workspaces for employment, performance, etc. etc. These traits are openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. Together, they can be remembered as ocean or canoe. The traits we exhibit feature in some range across each of these areas. Example, one can be on the extreme side of extroversion to introversion. In real life, one lies somewhere in between these two extremes, and this holds true for all the five personality traits. Think about it and see where you land across these five personality traits. Openness signifies the curious nature, imagination, insight. Conscientiousness includes thoughtfulness, organization, mindful of detail, goal directed. Extroversion includes excitability, sociability, assertiveness, emotional expressiveness, while agreeableness includes trust, kindness, altruism, affection. And then neuroticism includes sadness, moodiness, and emotional instability. Together, these five traits determine one's personality, and the range for each of the five traits comes together as a definition of one's own unique personality. Research has shown that both nature and nurture shape these big five traits towards defining the personality. Of course, one's behavior is defined by our own underlying personality, but also by the situation. Giving the gift of discovery to yourself, your family, and especially children helps contribute to the nurturing aspect of personality development. Embrace the maverick spirit, go with the flow, discover, and continue falling forward. We should count every moment in our lives and make every moment count. Write in your comments, share your feedback. I would love to hear from you. This is Ajay signing off, and here's wishing you an amazing day. Keep well, keep safe.